monkey like Fritos. Code monkey like Tab and Mountain Dew. Code monkey, very simple man with big warm fuzzy secret heart. Code monkey like you. Code monkey like you.
Hey guys, what's up? It's me, the Meteoraptor, and welcome back to another episode of the Meteoraptor Reviews. Before we begin, what y'all think of my new jacket? Pretty cool, actually, if you ask me. It's T-Bone's jacket from Watch Dogs. Now, I just want to tell you guys right now, there were some big changes on the horizon. Changes you're not going to want to miss. So, if you don't want to miss them, make sure you hit the subscribe button and drop a like while you're at it. It really helps me make these videos more frequently, it helps me make them better, and if you guys want to actually get a shout out, feel free to comment down below on what I should review or what you thought of the review. And if I end up using your comment for, reasons that I'm going to review this movie, yeah, you'll get a shout out of some sort. Believe me, there's going to be a very, very much requested review coming very soon. In fact, it's the most requested episode of the Meteoraptor Reviews ever. In fact, I think it's the only requested episode of the Meteoraptor Reviews, but that's not important. What is important is what I'm here to talk about. The 2017 DC movie, Wonder Woman. Let me start by saying, this was awesome. And no, not awesome in the way that I'm like, yeah, it's really cool, it's fun, but it's got all these problems that you have to look past. Or not, yeah, it's really cool and all that, and then when the second you take a second and look back, you kind of go like, wow, there's actually a lot more to this movie that's wrong than I thought there was. No. This is a good movie on the level of like Captain America the Winter Soldier. Alright, it's that kind of good superhero movie. And, dare I say this? It might actually be better than The Dark Knight. Yeah, I know. But honestly, this movie is fantastic. Not just as a superhero movie, which it's also amazing as, but as a movie in general. Because I know people who don't like comics in the slightest. They went to see this and they loved it. See, from what I've heard, at least from what those people said, let's just say this is the bar for comic book movies by Tomahawk. Let's say the bar is here. So, pretty much here would be like the Avengers, Guardians of the Galaxy, and The Dark Knight. Now, Wonder Woman came along and went like this. Yeah, it raised the bar. Not just for superhero movies, but for female superhero movies and strong female heroes in general. Want to know what I'm talking about? Let's talk about the writing. What makes this movie work so well is, well, Wonder Woman herself. She's a great character, she's relatable, she's likable, yet she's naive and not fully understanding. In kind of a Thor-ish way. Because really, when you look at it, this movie has a lot of aspects taken from Thor. Or at least imitating some aspects from Thor. You know, the stuff like he meets a person, she meets a person who isn't from her hometown, or she goes into a new place and she doesn't understand the customs and all that and how things work, and then there's a side character who's like, what the heck is wrong with her, and all that stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah, but at the same time, she's very smart, and she's very strong, but she also, a lot of scenes, she really doesn't get it. There's some scenes, like, and I don't really want to spoil it, but there are scenes when she thinks if she does this one action, everything will stop. Yet no matter how many times she's told that's not going to happen, she still seems to think that. And yet when she realizes that she was wrong, she doesn't go like, oh, all of you lied to me. She goes, no, I messed up big time here, and I gotta do what I can to fix this. That's how you do it right. Now, take a look at stuff like The Hunger Games. We got Katniss. She's a great example of the strong female hero. In fact, she might be the beginning of this new trend of strong female heroes, depending who you ask. Now, her deal was, she's strong in the sense that she's willing to fight for what she cares for. But she's incredibly weak in the sense that, well, she really has no big personal flaw, aside from the fact that she needs to learn to be a leader, which so many stories have done before, And we've already seen her being a leader, so we know she's a leader. It's not, could she become a leader? Here's another example. Hermione Granger. Now, before all you fanboys get up on me in the comments saying she's a great character, I am not dissing the character and I'm not dissing that franchise. I really enjoyed the Harry Potter movies. Still have to read the books, but whatever. Now, I want you all to do me something. Think long and hard, and this excludes headcanon, fanfiction, DeviantArt, all that stuff. Give me a personality trait for Hermione that's not smart, not bookish, not the smartest person in the school. What do we have? Loyal? Sure. With her friends? Sure. That's like, you know, Ron and Harry. That's the exact same as the other characters. She doesn't have anything defining or unique. And that's where Wonder Woman comes in and decides to show us how you do it right. You may notice I haven't talked about kids' movies where they try and do the female lead or the character who has to learn from their mistake. And that's different because when you're going for kids, you can get away with something really weak and stupid, and then, since it's for kids, they'll buy it. I mean, look at the new Thomas the Tank Engine stuff. Look at some of the old Thomas stuff. You want an example of good Thomas the Tank Engine that taught this same lesson? Salty's Secret. Go watch that episode. It's actually a really good one, if memory serves, but it's been almost a decade since I watched it. Probably more than that. So, the character herself is great. We're given lots of reason to care for her. In fact, all of the characters we're introduced to, we're given lots of reason to care for them. And, not gonna say who, when one of them dies, it's not you'll cry over it, but you'll at least feel like something of value has been lost. And while we're on the subject of lost, well, that actually was a horrible transition. Let's talk about the villains, because you can't have a good comic book movie without having a good comic book villain. Now, to answer your question, and I'm not going to spoil this, Ares is the villain. Just saying that right now, so if you're wondering, yes, Ares is the villain. Now, there is one other villain. Her name is Dr. Poison, I believe, was her nickname. She's a pretty cool villain, actually. You know, she... Essentially, because this movie takes place in World War I, she's kind of responsible for creating the mustard gas idea. Which is a cool idea. But that's really all she kind of has going for her, is the fact that she has a thing with poison and with torturing and killing people because science. Up yours. Anyhow, so the characters are great, and the story, well, it is kind of a basic story for the first, let's say, half. First half of the movie is pretty basic. It's a typical sort of fish out of water story with a superhero origin story and all that. But then the second half, they do a lot of cool twists and turns that are unique and new ideas for the superhero franchise, which I'm not going to spoil because that would be giving away major plot points. And since it's not even been a week since this movie came out, I'm not going to be giving you major plot points because you gotta see this movie. And I know I'm kind of showing my hand now, but you gotta see the movie. Another thing about this movie is it's almost 3 hours. Amazing thing is, it really doesn't feel like it's 3 hours. But this does also lead to one of the film's problems. Now, I'm not sure if this is the writing or the pacing, or the editing more, but you'll have like 5 amazing scenes where it's action, character development, and action. You'll have this really cool stuff. And then you'll be hit with a scene for like no more than 5 minutes, roughly, where it's a sort of like, wow, that was a thing we did. Go us. Like, I understand that they don't want this whole movie to be just action. They want to try and actually give you reason to care for these characters, but we already had scenes that had us caring for these characters beforehand. Also, forgot to mention this, there's a framing device. Really clever framing device, and a really cool framing device. Not a clunky one, not a stupid one that actually makes sense within the canon universe that this movie and previous movies have set up. So, writing, it's a very good plot, albeit a little bit cliched. Let's talk about the acting. Wow, this acting is truly amazing. Gal Gadot, or that's how I'm going to call her. I'm just going to call her Gal because I cannot pronounce that last name. I'm sorry. The thing is, she has to play a woman. She plays Wonder Woman incredibly well. And there are scenes where Wonder Woman's in denial, disbelief, sadness, or anger, and she's literally shifting about every other line. She has to shift back and forth because of what the plot is going on. I'm not going to spoil that. But she pulls it off, and it is amazing. The actor who played Steve Trevor, Chris Pine, I've seen him in quite a few things. He was Kirk in the new Star Trek movies. He's doing a great job because he's Chris Pine. And the other guys, there's Chief, there's a Middle Eastern guy, and there's a Scottish guy who I honestly thought was Simon Pegg for a while because he kind of looks like him, who is a barrel of laughs. He's the kind of comedic relief. Right, that's what I wanted to talk about. So I'm just going to get this out. All the acting is great. All the acting is across the board fantastic. Professor Poison, she has to have kind of this weird crack in her voice because she's been exposed to some toxins and stuff. Like, that kind of stuff. Her voice sounds really cool. Ares' voice sounds threatening and awesome. Right. Side characters. There's kind of a thing they mentioned with the Scottish dude. I forget his name right now. He's a sniper, and yet there's one scene where he has a chance to take out someone, yet he can't. And they kind of say that we can't all be who we used to be, or we can't be who we want to be. Now, traditionally in movies, when that happens, we know, okay, near the end, he's going to overcome that fear, and he's going to shoot someone. He doesn't. Not a big deal, but they really kind of left that up in the air. And then there are scenes later on when he's just gunning people down when they're running through an airstrip. So is it he's anti-violent, or is he still violent? Because if so, why couldn't he take the shot beforehand? But if not, why is he choosing to kill people now? Is it because of this or that? Or, you know what I mean? It's stuff like that. Really minor stuff, but it does kind of affect the movie when you think about it for more than 10 minutes. And considering the fact that I review movies, I kind of have to think about it for more than, 2 minutes. Which is what I meant to say, not 10 minutes. Special effects. A lot of this movie is practical, and it looks freaking awesome. All the CG, I don't even know what to say because it's literally what you would expect from a Warner Bros. Movie. And if there's one thing that's been good about Suicide Squad, won an Oscar for it, and Batman v Superman, it's the effects. Alright, the practical effects look beautiful. The costumes are truly amazing. The CG is top-notch quality stuff that in some cases I had a hard time trying to figure out, is that CG or is that practical? That's how much effort was put into it. All the little background designs and the sets, because it's set in World War I, there are all sorts of little references. Like, there's a shot where they're in a bar and you can see one of the bottles and it actually it's like 20 years, so like a 1900s bottle of alcohol. Like, they went to that level of detail. It's stuff like that that makes this movie awesome. Music, there is one song which is sung by the Scottish guy when he's kind of drunk. It's a very nice song though. And the score, it's beautiful. It's sort of like a battle. It's like what you would hear. It's kind of what, it's kind of what you would expect from a movie like this. Camera work is fine. Lighting is great. This movie is really colorful, actually, which is a nice change. Even during the nighttime, when everything's like dark and all that, you can still tell what's going on. Not just because of the lighting, but because it's not all black and white. Hear that, Batman v Superman? You don't need to have muted colors and all black to look cool. Sorry, I had to get it off my chest. Anyhow, so, when it's all over, can I recommend Wonder Woman? What do you think? Of course I can. 3.5 raptor claws out of 4. This movie, if DC keeps doing this, not only will they pose a challenge to Marvel, they will beat Marvel. You hear that? DC, keep doing movies like this, okay? Make the Justice League movie this good. Make it better than this. You guys know you can. You have Joss Whedon. You will beat Marvel if you keep doing this. Want some advice? Here, simple. I'll give you a couple great movie ideas. Batman Under the Red Hood. Batman and a Scarecrow movie. Don't have the Joker in either of them, by the way. Let's see. A Superman Red Sun movie. I know that really wouldn't fit into the universe, but it would still be cool. Or a Lobo movie, an R-rated Lobo movie. If Logan and Deadpool have taught us anything, it's violent, vulgar, crude superheroes and super characters, because Lobo's not a superhero, can work. If you do that, you will beat Marvel. Alright, you keep doing movies this good, and people will forgive you for Batman v Superman and Suicide Squad. So you know what, you guys? This movie is truly awesome. And I really want to go watch that 2009 animated Wonder Woman movie, and once I get some cash again, I'm going to go have to buy it on Blu-ray, because they re-released it. And I can't wait to watch that, because I love the DC Universe movies. But as for right now, I'm going to go play Injustice 2. They released a bunch of Wonder Woman movie gear, and I got all of it, because haha, I'm better than all of you. And if you want to challenge me on that, find me. My PSN name is the Meteor Raptor or Toaster Waffles. I'm not sure how it works. Friend me, challenge me, I will beat you into the ground. And if not, well, I'll give you a shout out. But hey, until next time, you guys, this is the Meteor Raptor saying keep cool, and I will see all you guys, I'll see all you dino dudes around. Later.